On a final note, each and every manufacturer has their own standard length chart, and there's not one universal chart throughout the whole industry. There may or may not be a difference in the standard length of, let's say, a men's standard 7-iron with their steel or graphite shaft, but if there is, it's usually to make up the difference in the swing weighting, so you don't have to cast two different weight heads. So don't assume that if you order a club for Ping that's a half-inch over standard, you order a club from Hireko that's a half-inch over standard, or from another supplier, that the lengths will all be the same. But one thing never changes. If you need a 37-inch 7-iron, everybody knows what 37 inches is and should be able to build to it. So I hope this webinar is giving you a better understanding of just how to accomplish this. Now that's a wrap. Let's turn this back over to Rob, and we can field any questions you may have at this time.
Great. Thank you, Ruler Buddy. Very informative. Thank you. Everybody can type their questions now into the question box. But before, as you're typing that, rather, I'd like to remind you of 4 new products that is coming to Hireko in the next couple of weeks, and a couple that are. Here now, we have the new Acer XDS Cabriolet irons that are going to be here in about 2 weeks, around October 15th. Extremely high-tech irons, huge wide soles. Jeff's worked very hard on these irons. The Cabriolet irons. We also have a ladies putter out called the Ibella Volare putter. Both of these, the Cabriolet irons and the Volare putters, are online at hirekogolf.com, and you should have also received an email promoting them. We also have the new True Temper GS95 shaft coming next week on October 7th. That's the True Temper GS95. True Temper's been promoting these quite a bit recently. And then finally, the True Temper Multi-Step Light shafts. The Iron 8L flexes are in now. The RS are in next week. So first comment we have is from Gary, rule of thumb. Gary Johnson, how you doing, Gary? Rule of thumb, measure twice, cut once. Very, very good wisdom there, timeless. Next question here is from Steve. Your length chart showed weight. How was that arrived to in the chart?
Okay, let me go back to that. Let me flip back to that real quick. Hold on. The reason why we do this is simply because there's a formula in order to get the swing weight correct, or to a specific number. There's a relationship between head weight and club length. And for years, if you had a driver, most manufacturers, or actually every manufacturer, had basically the same weight. It was the same way with irons as well. When hybrids came out, maybe 5-6 years ago, maybe a couple years before that, they broke the rules when it came to having a set standard weight. For example, a 3 hybrid from one manufacturer could be 14 grams difference from another manufacturer. And if you were to follow the tip trimming or standard lengths based on the number, you're going to get entirely different results as far as the stiffness and swing weight. So that's why a couple years ago we started in our, just routinely putting in our standard length charts a reference with the weight, so that you could attack the situation with the hybrids. So for example, if you had a 3 hybrid that weighed 229 grams, if you can look at the chart there, it's basically the weight of what a normal 1-iron would be. So for tip trimming and length, we would actually treat it as a 1-iron even though it had a 3 engraved on the sole. But if it happened to be 243 grams, then we would treat it like any other standard 3-iron. So that's why Hireko's been standardizing our hybrids to be all the same weight, and I think finally next year they'll all be that way. We won't have any stragglers from years past. But if you're doing a lot of repair or retrofitting, you do want to make doubly sure what the weight of the head is before you tackle the length.
All right, great detailed answer. Next was from Bruce, not a question, but when I measure a shaft for cutting, I place a piece of masking tape around the shaft so I can check the measurement prior to cutting. I guess that's a little preference thing there.
Actually, that's not a bad technique, especially with graphite shafts, since they're mostly black at the butt end, and usually you have a black Sharpie pen, so that's actually a good habit to have.
Okay, folks, finish up your questions here. Jeff, you have any comments on any of these true temper shafts, or the new Cabriolet irons, or the Volare putters?
No, I don't think I got time today.
You worked pretty hard on those irons, didn't you?
Yeah, those were supposed to be, that was the set of irons that were mentioned in the catalog that didn't make it, so those took about a year to do right. Yeah, they're well worth the wait. All right, folks, that's it for today. You can see this recording on our Facebook page, also on YouTube.com, also on our blog, Facebook and Twitter. So we'll see you next time. Anything else, Jeff? Nope, that takes care of it. Well, thanks everybody for attending. All right, guys, bye-bye.